down smash. Not able to get the ledge guard. Oh!
Depends. Texas is huge. Now you're gonna get spikes!
That was an amazing board there. KDK going low and launching off when it matters the most.
Interesting. Is going to be starting with the Mythra here too, which is a little trick I picked up recently. Apparently, the alt on the screen changes to be the one they're starting with up front. So didn't know that. Also didn't know until recently that there's a button. There's a separate button on the character select screen when you're hovering over Pyro and Mythra. The one button changes the alt, changes the color. One button changes which one is first. Whereas I think if you're hovering any other character, both buttons just change color. So interesting to know that when they made this character's DLC, they also fundamentally changed the way the character select screen works. That's very interesting to me. But it's also not really relevant to what's going on here. So let's take a look at what's going on. And so far, that is not a lot of mining. In fact, Chris opting to pull out the iron tools here. That is something, you know, a lot of times you see Minecraft Steves stick to their basic tool set up until they can get the diamond there. But Chris not being given that luxury here. The pressure coming out from Emass, a half charge forward smash. That was so unnecessary in terms of raw kill power, but very necessary in terms of waiting out that air dodge to find the confirm. And Emass really going ham with the Mythra combos here too. I mean, just finding those links, finding that damage in the neutral, and pulling out the Pyro too to use that blazing end to poke and stop Chris from just mining freely to the point where, oh, that's something you got to know the matchup to make that happen. Down tilting that block wall setup and knowing that the side B would slip under the bottom block, that's matchup knowledge. Emass has played this before, knows what they need to be doing here. And the zoning coming out from them to stop the mining with the Pyro side B has been very effective. I mean, you're already seeing that we're, this far into the match, and there's no diamond in the pocket. There's no diamond in the hand. Chris is working on gold tools here, while Emass is just still applying pressure. We do finally have a diamond in the pocket at least, but Chris is going to need to buy space to actually craft the tools. And another Blazing Revolt shuts down another stock. Emass now up 2 full stocks at 100%, traditionally would be in danger of dying. And, to an anvil, that is a traditional way to die. So that's going to be a stock gone. That still has a full stock lead though. What was the angle on those wings there? That was a very interesting direction to end up flying. Steve grab, not going to get Chris out of the situation just yet. But the second one does land. We're seeing the pick loops. Chris just barely able to, or not able to continue the link there, and Emass able to recover another Blazing Revolt back up onto the stage. And what is going on with the minecart? I don't think either player expected that. It was no longer hitbox as it was standing too still, but Emass still couldn't move through it either. And the anvil becoming a larger and larger part of Chris's game plan here as well. Oh no! That did not just happen! Chris set up the TNT to ledge trap there, and the Mythra side B actually pushed it back so that when it detonated, it hit them both. And I think they both were about to lose a stock there. But given that A, Emass had another stock ready where Chris didn't, and B, Chris died first, Emass does win out in that situation, taking game 1. But what a way for game 1 to go. I did not anticipate that TNT being bounced back quite that way, but Emass may very well have. It definitely seems like this is a matchup they are familiar and comfortable with, and that's going to give Chris problems. I am very concerned about the decision to go back to Battlefield here for Chris. I feel like part of the problem with that game 1 was the fact that you just didn't have space to mine on that game 1. And Battlefield is, probably the smallest stage in the stage list here. So very concerning, but Chris does decide to just run it back here. And he's playing the boxing tools here really well. I mean, this may only be the wooden tool, the wooden sword here, but it is putting in the work. Maybe that is the adaptation Chris needs. Waiting out the Mythra side B as well to find another grab. Emass is switching into Pyra here instead. setting up a TNT up on the platform too. Just any little threat to block Emass's approach so that Chris can get a little more mining in. Is Emass just going to ham on the crafting box there? I don't think those are landing. I think the way where the first one did, and then it put Emass into a spot where the forward smashes afterwards weren't quite landing. But I think those were for the express purpose of just breaking the crafting box, which didn't ultimately work out. The minecart is going to come out from Chris and take a stock there. Emass not afraid to just keep railing the forward smashes out there, though. I guess if you keep throwing them out there, eventually one of them is going to land. And when it takes a stock that reliably, when it's that powerful, you know, you only need one. So now we are even up again, and I'm still just trying to figure out what I just watched. The strategy here from Emass definitely very interesting. This time the TNT setup on the platform from Chris is going to claim a stock. Chris also dodging through their own wall the moment it broke. This is a totally different, you know, I was talking about how it definitely seemed like Emass knew this matchup, but now it's looking like, hey, Chris maybe knows it just as well back. Blazing end there off stage does mean that the up B is not quite able to save Emass there. So Chris is gonna take game 2. And wow, this matchup has gotten real weird real fast. I don't even know how to track this, but I'm loving it. There's definitely some creativity and some knowledge of the matchup coming out here that I am very excited by. So this is gonna be a nice set here. Oh, hold on, wait. Emass actually after that switching out to the Rob, which you know, makes a lot of sense. That last match on Battlefield did look a little rough, but you know, I mean, it was pretty convincing to win the game before that. So I kind of wonder, like, I don't know. I feel like there was a convincing match both ways. So that to me says both players probably reliably able to take a stop or take the set with those characters. Emass though decides, hey, you know, I'm gonna switch things up, move over to the Rob, see how that works out for me. So, and it just came to me. It just hit me that I've been saying Blazing Revolt all this time, and it's Prominence Revolt. But you know what? That character's not even on screen anymore, so I'm not going to worry about it. Top to laser Emass, racking up damage with the projectiles. I mean, this is another way that, you know, that's a consideration. The stage choice did shift. This is now a longer, flatter stage, which means in the Pyro Mythra matchup, Chris could have ran away a little more to try to buy time to mine. Whereas Rob can definitely, you know, harass you from across the stage with projectiles. Oh, caught with the minecart command grab. Both these players throwing out some very lethal options here on the ledge, but nobody quite connecting. Emar's just sniping that ledge pressure away with the laser with the top. But Chris pretty consistently breaking out of any kind of poor corner positioning with the minecart there. As said, looking a little low on iron here. I think that's maybe enough for one more anvil or one more minecart. And then they're going to need to replenish their stockpiles there a little bit. But hey, you know, if that one minecart lands, that's all you need. And wow, that time, even from that far away, minecart is going to land with the strong hitbox. Emass definitely going to need to be looking out for that. But it's one of those situations where you kind of don't want to shield it either, because if they just jump out the moment before it hits your shield, you still get hit out of shield. So it does put you in a weird spot in that sense. But, you know, there are other options. You can always jump out of the way. You can always try to roll dodge through. Definitely going to need to find an answer here. Chris really using that minecart to full advantage. I mean, until Emass finds a solution for that, finds an adaptation to deal with that option, I don't see Chris stopping. And Chris is absolutely not stopping. Taking another stock from Emass right there off the stage, just driving it right off the blast zone with the minecart. Oh, the no mash mix up there from Chris though to get out of the berry. Not quite timed right though. The second up smash still there to cover it. That is a tricky situation, but it's something that you definitely want to look for if you're stuck in it. if you're in a situation where you're in that bury and Rob is setting up for the up smash, if you vary the timing of your mash by enough, you can throw off their timing and maybe slip out between up smashes. But if you're a little too slow, then sometimes they just throw out a second up smash and you die anyways. Tricky to get the hang of, but it is definitely an option, and it's good to know if you're struggling with that mashup. These minecarts now are starting to get a little bit less value here for Chris. The anvils, though, still hitting as hard as a dropped anvil should, so still maintaining a pretty solid control here. Another TNT down as well, just to buy space, but not respecting the nair. Emass just committing fully into that nair. Buying just that little bit more pressure, a little bit more stage space, but Chris ultimately able to throw Emass right back out and catch another landing nair there, catching on Emass's landing nair habit with an up smash. You know, I mean, that nair is traditionally a safe landing option, but if it is telegraphed and you're playing against someone who's got a disjointed up smash or an up smash that covers a lot of space like that, they do have options to shut that nair down. And that's exactly what Chris caught on to take that game 3. So that means Chris is up 2-1 here in the set. And this is going to be Emass's last chance. We are seeing them jump back out, so we may see some stage switches, may see some character switches. Pardon me, folks. Gotta stay hydrated. It's important. Whether you're gaming, you're commentating, or whatever else, stay hydrated. It really will. It'll do you a lot of favors. It is scientifically proven that you don't play as well if you're not hydrated. So drink water. Put the energy drink down. Put the coffee down. Put soda down. Get a glass of water. The good stuff. All right. Game 3. Production's not happy for that, but we will talk about that later. But game 4 rather, and going back to the Pyromancer here from Emass, that makes a lot of sense. I think the Rob just wasn't quite working out on that game 3, but the Mythra already looking a little scarier, applying quite a bit of pressure here. And Chris committing to that same game plan of knocking Emass away, constructing a wall, and then doing some mining. But this time, the minecart a little bit difficult to find a solid confirm with. Pyro and Mythra are a little more slender than Rob. Rob's kind of thick. He's kind of a big body. A little harder to hit those hits on a character like Pyro or Mythra. And also, you got to worry about the threat of that down air to up smash, like we just saw taking the stock there. Oh, that's unfortunate. That anvil was no longer active until the dirt block underneath it broke. That was a punish of Emass's own construction there, if I'm understanding the mechanics in that situation correctly. But hey, you know, and sometimes that happens. And overall, Emass is still holding down the lead. Steve's grabs look so weird, but Emass has been finding those forward smashes on the neutral get up on ledge like very consistently, and I think that's something Chris is gonna have to consider. I know jumping from ledge is kind of scary in that matchup. So is the back air to cover the attempt of the jump back up on the stage there. But yeah, the jumping in this matchup off of ledge is kind of scary, but you know, the neutral getup is pretty consistently getting shut down, and Emass even catching the roll as well with the pyro forward tilt. And man, when you see this many pyro swings hit back to back like that, that's a scary place to be. I mean, that's so much damage, so much knockback being applied. The blazing end comboing into itself to send Chris back off stage one more time. Getting back up on the stage with the wheel there, and then another wall constructed. Give me space, I need to mine. There's diamonds in this wood, I just have to find it. And there's the diamond too. Now Chris just needs to make space to actually craft some tools with it though. Knocked right out of the minecart by another flaming sword. This might be the moment. Oh, Chris though wasn't able to get back to the ledge. Ended up snapping the ledge there. So they couldn't get to the box to craft the tools. Ending up ultimately taking a stock from another massive pyro swing. But if we get to the crafting box, craft those diamond tools and find another massive forward smash back to even this up. And this is a scary situation for Emass here because there was a lead. There was a significant lead here for Emass for a while. And the diamond tools weren't on deck, so you weren't as worried about taking as much damage, as much knockback from these Steve combos. But now the stocks are even, and the diamond tools are out and ready to play. And this is going to be do or die for Emass here. This is the set on the line for them as well. Pyra forward air, just knocking that minecart right off the rails, but Chris ready with another anvil as well. And the TNT setups are something you got to look out for. This time, the up smash on the telegraphed falling aerial, though, not enough. That Pyra down air does have a little bit more range than the startup of the Rob Nair, and just crushed right through, hit Chris anyways, comboed into the up smash, and Emass evening the set up 2-2. And you're definitely seeing the Pyra Mythra here working a whole lot better. My boy Rex on the screen here for just a minute. I wish Rex had been able to be a character. I just think Rex is cool. His voice acting in the English is kind of not the best, but I like everything else. Yeah, the Pyra there working out very well. Chris though, playing from a significant deficit for at least a good chunk of that, really kept it together. And really, even though the minecarts are starting to get shut down more and more by those Pyra aerials, it's a little bit less reliable against her than it is against Rob. Still staying in there, still sticking in there. And we are going back to Battlefield for Game 3. This is going to be, this could go either direction here. We saw convincing wins between these two characters, these two players on this stage in games 1 and 2 of this set. So you got to wonder if one of them is going to repeat that performance, or if we're going to see a game that's a lot closer. So far, it looks like Emass is applying pressure very well, not giving Chris a chance to rest, and certainly not a chance to mine, even for a moment. The wall constructed, buying just a little bit of time, but not enough, and Emass got through, found another blazing end, and just one after another, there's no space here. Chris is really going to have to work with those wooden tools and try to find a solid knockback option. One does have to wonder why this was not perhaps Chris's ban, stage list wise, because this does seem like the last place you want to be, matchup wise. But so far, Chris holding on to even stocks at least. The percentage gap is widening more and more. Solid command grab to set up into that forward air. The pick. Oh wait, the TNT coming out does break up the action there. Costs Chris a stock, and Emass doesn't quite die from it. So, but hey, the anvil right afterwards, that'll do it. That'll do it. If at first you don't succeed, drop an anvil. And we're right back to an even game here, 2-2. And now, once again, Emass maybe was thinking of having a comfortable lead to play with to apply pressure here. Now is going to have to keep playing their heart out, keep the pressure going. Chris catching on to the nonstop pressure there, waiting it out, and then finding the grab on a whiff aerial. And that is, boy, Steve does a lot of damage when he gets a full combo. When he's allowed to just get a full string like that, jeez, that's insane. We got the Pyra coming out to play here from Emass though, the blazing end, shutting down the mining once again, and there's no additional tools at the moment available for Chris here. I stand corrected. Iron is a thing. I forgot iron was a thing, but it is. Iron tool is now online, but Emass shutting down the wing back onto stage with a massive forward tilt, and then right back into Mythra to rack up these combos, rack up the percentage, and try to prevent as much mining as possible. And Chris, as soon as he's able to get that Pyra Mythra off stage, mining as much as possible. We got the gold tools online. This is probably the first time I've seen Steve played where the diamond tools weren't just the initial rush, where other tools came out. That's certainly the first time I've seen the gold pickaxe skill. But hey, unique times call for unique measures. And sometimes that means building quite a few sets of armor and weapons. And that has evened up the stock count here. Chris sticking down here. Hey, if you want to sit up there and just try to bait me out with down airs, I'll just sit down here and mine for more resources. I am 100% okay with that. But now that Emass has the advantage there, the Pyra juggles coming out to play. Minecart going to break them out. Another minecart sending Emass off stage. That was the spike, but not at a percentage high enough to kill. TNT ready to go as well, but Emass navigating around it beautifully, even with how devious that trap that Chris set up was. What was the momentum on that minecart? I feel like it stopped moving forward almost entirely as it hit the ground. But Emass must have known that shift in momentum was ready to happen because they were set to capitalize on it the second it hit the ground, and that does mean that Emass will take the game or take the set on game 5.